45.
Hey, check it out. This is Eminem, and the Streetz is watching.
Cannon.
We know drama in the homie.
The wait is finally over. The affiliates have taken over the wheel. Right here on the Streetz Is Watching on Shade 45.
Today's Shade 45 Friday night, Super Bowl edition. The gang's all here. DJ Drama, Trendsetter Sense, Don Cannon. We got a special guest in the building. He really needs no introduction.
What's up? It's the kid 50 Cent. I'm in here, man.
50, what's up?
Everything's good, man. It's good to see you, man.
You too, my brother. Happy New Year.
And in good spirits, and I come in and all I see is things shining, watch looking like diamonds, Hermes, bracelets, diamond chains, everything. It just feels good. See, I like some people get uncomfortable with success, but I appreciate it. It's confirmation that you can make it, right?
Absolutely. Now, Fifth, let me see. Do you remember the last time there was like a big event in Atlanta, like a Super Bowl All-Star? Let me see if I can jog your memory a little bit.
We did have some. We was out here. I think the last time was I think it was All-Star, right?
It was All-Star.
Yeah.
You remember what year it was?
How
could you forget?
Yeah, it was. I came.
I'll remind you.
Yeah, I was real early.
Let me tell you. It was 2003. It was in February.
Real early, yeah.
All-Star was the weekend, that
the album
your
came
album
out.
came out that Tuesday. It
Right.
may have leaked maybe a couple days or
early.
a week earlier.
Right.
And then the following weekend was All-Star, and that was the
It's
soundtrack
crazy, yeah.
to All-Star.
The
That's
whole thing
all you heard.
just played everywhere, and I was like, you know,
It was your All-Star.
If you asked me to just make just one wish, just one thing, it would be for my music to be a success in 2003. That record, like, it was everything for me, right? So when it works, like, I learned so much about myself over that time, because if you ask me to make a wish now, I'm just going to wish for more wishes. Because I need to feel the confirmation of success repeatedly, like at different points. Like, some people can hit the lick and go away.
Right.
You know, because it's still, that record was LL Cool J's career. It's 13 million copies. Like, JSA 12 million platinum albums. That first album is his whole catalog.
Right.
That's
You
crazy.
see what I'm saying? So when it's in one project where there's an agreement from everybody all at once, that's how it feels. It's so you're so unprepared for it from a male perspective, because like men don't have the same pressures women have. Like, socially, we don't have to do the same things.
Absolutely.
Like the women, she move around a little bit. She start. If she's just operating like a single male, she's a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, people would call her that just for doing what he's doing as a single male. And when I get there, and it was crazy. Like, it was so much going on at one time. The interesting thing is, when we pray for success, we don't pray for jealousy. We don't pray for envy. We don't pray for entitlement. And we can't have those things without success. And this is what changes the relationships around you from the start. Because I wanted everybody to come with me, because we went on the road. By the time we got for the tour, I said I can do whatever I want as long as I keep working.
I feel like and what you're saying, that, like, if you watch any artist, specifically hip hop artists over the years, their entourage is always
shrink,
gets smaller, over time. Like, it never fails.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what they have to do is they have to reboot, bring new talent around, and let that entourage of the new talent be there when they can be observant and just remove things before they have to for the next guy. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, there's no way around it. Like, there's the entitlement. Like, you may come back, you may bought him a car, but he's like, yo, but you could have bought me a crib. Like, he's like, when did I become responsible for your whole life? You know what I'm saying? I thought we cool, yeah. Like, we've been together, but hey,
has that sour you in any way on, like, signing talent or, you know, going forward with new artists?
No, you know what,
you've had to experience that?
Nope. You know, I think it's a part of the process, and I respect it. Like, I watch, like, when you see most artists have some differences, or at some point they have an issue with their company, because they'll go, I think this record, they think that record. Or I think this, and they're telling me this date. You know what I'm saying? And the creative side of them is not always in tune with the business portion of the music business, and that creates anger, regardlessly. You know what I'm saying? So you'll see that repeatedly from artists, and then I'm like, I understand it. I could appreciate it because they can't be. Music marks time. I got 15 years,
Right.
of like when you see like right now Drake is a darling at radio.
He's about 10 years in now.
Yeah, 10 years now, and he's a smart enough guy to identify with who's coming. So you'll see a record,
He'll
Drake
see
featuring
Blueface or Lil Baby.
Lil Baby.
He'll get on the record.
Yeah, and he'll jump on that song with them, and it reboots his energy.
Right.
And it never felt like he needed anything from it because he was a bigger artist than Lil Baby at the
And
moment.
who does that benefit more, you think? That artist or Drake?
Now look,
When that happens.
the Lil Baby record was gonna work anyway.
Got you.
Drake is a smart guy for making the record, and he helps it work fast. It works faster because his connection to it grows. And then, but that song the song was good. You can tell when the music has the right energy to it. Like I take a step back long enough to be able to appreciate my peers and the music, the entire culture. You know what I'm saying? And I involve myself in other projects that allow me to continue to challenge myself. You know, like the film, television side of things. Like I'll start doing that and watch, but I'm still in the night. I'm listening to the music and I go, okay. It's not the choices are not so complex that I don't get it. Like I understand it. Like I always wondered what would happen with certain artists, like Future, for instance. Like a lot of his records, his hit records, didn't chart. So like there was points when there was a kid out of New York sounded like
Fetty Wap? No.
Designer.
Designer.
Yeah.
So, and I would ask, I would go, so who hotter, Future or Designer? And I'm tripping because I got a full tape, a Future tape in the car. The whole thing is hot. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going, so I'm asking people because the record, that Panda record was charted #1. And a lot of people were saying Panda. Because at that point, the record was #1. So I'm going, so you going to forget that this is this good? The record that didn't actually...
It's weird because Future Records didn't they didn't stick on the charts.
Right.
They would murder the streets and the clubs.
Kill. And then that's why it made sense for the Future and Drake collaboration. That's why I'm saying that Drake is a smart guy.
100%.
You see what I'm saying? Like to do that, because that could have easily been the Drake Wayne album. I would have took that. That would have been a cool thing to happen. Like there was still no group album out of the Where's the G on the album? You know, like I always look at the choices that I made and like what was going on, because I put, when you do 13 million records, the label don't want nobody's record but your record. Your next album, like, so I'm like, nah, I want to do the Junior record. Junior record is done. I'm gonna put Lloyd Banks out. Put Banks out, fix the Game album and put that out before I put the Massacre out. And then, but it was just me wanting to have everybody around still.
Is your success in film and television make you kind of not even...
Love the music?
Yeah.
No, I still love it. It's my first love.
Got you.
How it's the first time you have that experience, you'll never really... It's hard to match that energy because it comes out of you. It's all you. Like, a song come on and it's not complex. It's not rocket science. It's a go shorty. It's your birthday. But when everybody in the world agrees that it's the right thing for that moment, it feels like magic. Right. Like the process, the story, the writing process for film and television. There's almost never been a script that was delivered where they said, "This is it. We have no notes.
Right. It's done. It's ready.
Done. Let's go." Like it's a
music. You can do that.
Yeah, music. We can write it
off top,
and you hear it and go, "Yo, this is it. It feels good."
Yeah.
And
fresh out.
And that's the difference between the two in the process. But even with the BMF, like the project, I went through two different writers early on. The studios networks don't hire the writers unless they're going into the production stage. Like they're investing. They spent. He's paid to do this and everything. So we went through a process. I hired two different people. It didn't work. The concepts that kept coming out weren't what we needed to make it what I felt like would be great.
Okay.
And I didn't want to fall short of what I said it would be to the public.
Walk us through the timeline of the BMF project, of your initial idea to do it, how it came about. And
BMF, Randy Lim was my partner at Cheetah Vision. We produced 20 films together. We raised $200 million. We broke it into 10 pictures, sold domestic rights to Lionsgate, and then sold the international territories on all of those projects. And then following that, Barry and Stan over at Lionsgate asked them, would they be interested in doing something with the BMF project? Because Tammy was pitching Meech's story at that point.
Okay.
And
Tammy is?
Yeah. She's like the point person for Meech and
okay.
executive producer on the project. And I told him, that's like a good story, like a good story to do. And he had bought into the rights and did what he had to do to sustain it for almost 5 years. Later, it turns into it shouldn't be a movie, it should be a series. Because it's so much in it, the intricate parts of it, that people would miss. They wouldn't understand it. Like, if I didn't tell, there was the option, like the reason why I felt like I was falling short of what the project needs to be was the writers were fascinated with 2005. The height of the success, you got giraffes at parties and money flying, and that was,
I remember.
and of course it's exciting because it actually happened.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm going, no, we got to show the origin story. So there's some compassion for him.
Right.
When, in process, if you see you're in Detroit and you make the choice to do what you got to do,
right.
And your parents are religious, so his mother don't even curse.
Make the characters more human.
Right. Yeah, it makes, like Meech mom, she don't talk like that. You know what I mean? And then even at points where he actually had it to help with the actual with the house, the mortgage, like to pay the bills for it wasn't right what you was doing because of the religious beliefs and everything else that was there. So to see that those conflicts and understand that how you can end up falling into those circumstances. I don't think there were people. They had a lot of money, man. A lot of money. Like they had, like at 16. He was like millions of dollars at 16. So
ballpark. What's the ballpark?
NSX. You had that then, like back then. Like so, it's like you go. If you show the story the wrong way, they go, "Oh, about time they finally caught you."
Right.
You don't care about the person, who it is, and I think it's when they get a chance to see it that they're gonna really appreciate it because we took the time to go through the stages. So like as the seasons go, you'll see them grow to that point that you actually know.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think when people watch this, they're going to look at Meech as the good guy or the bad guy?
I think you're going to see all of it.
Got you.
You're going to see good moments, bad moments. T, the same. Like it was difficult to tell a story about two brothers from Detroit, and it's Meech's story, right? But
T is just as important to the story.
Right.
Yep.
And then, so that I had to have the communications with Terry's side of it in order to make it right.
Was that complicated? Because I don't know where they are.
No, it's so many BMF. There's so many BMF people.
Yeah.
Listen, there's so many BMF people. Like it's ridiculous. Like, so you go.
They probably came out the woodworks to you too.
And it's like I avoid communications with outside of Meech and Terry. You see what I'm saying? Because they're the story, and then there's other guys that their journeys were significant enough to cover that way that I feel like becomes the spinoffs with the success of this project, like Woke and J-Boy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then you see things that grow in the actual story. And then it's like what happens after.
How was it for you doing it here in Atlanta? Around this time, and how's the process been?
It's been amazing. Like you can feel it. The energy swell over. Like even for the network, like Stars, right? They go, what's going on? Like we didn't put it on yet. It feels like it's on, and it, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's already there. Like it's like because the culture makes it feel that way. You know what I mean? And when you look, music culture is shifted from there was a lot of New York City based music, LA based music dominating, and then when it shifts to the Southern, it starts to bring dance culture into it. Like it starts to become more fun. Because there's points like to take your shirt off and they're shaking their dreads and it's like, oh shoot, I just had my Timberlands. I didn't know what to do. Yo, but this is the real transition that we just went through. And then you look at that and you say, where is as it shifts, the slang changes. So crack house, trap sound, trap music, it's the largest indictment since the transition.
Sure. So you put a billboard up, The World Is Yours, a picture of Meech. Now, I'm curious, is that promotion for the show, or did you put it up because you're using it for filming? Because that's an actual billboard that was actually up in the city during those days.
Well, they're going to cover the whole experience of the casting in Atlanta and stuff like that. And then,
very nostalgic.
Yeah, so it was cool. You see, it doesn't have a Stars logo. It's a 50 Cent signature. Because I pay for it. You know what I'm saying? And it needs to be back. It needs to be back up there. Like the original one didn't have Meech's picture in it, but it needs to be there to remind people.
What's some of your memories from back then about BMF? Like when did you first hear about BMF? And
when I first heard about it, I was like, look, in 2003, they would come around like there was guys that had relationships. They were so embedded into the music business because when you can find your pockets, people like you around. Right? When you like at the nightclub, I apologize, my phone ringing.
You good.
You're in the nightclub.
Cinematic ringtone.
And Puffy needs can't buy champagne because you bought all of it. They start to have to speak to you. There's no fun here tonight without anything. You know what I'm saying? So it starts everybody's relationships that actually develop. I stayed away from it because I know who I am, and I know how easy it is for me to. I might have bought something. I might have got too involved or too into it, or just it would have been easy enough for people to make me involved without me being involved. Right. You know, and I was doing too well, so it's like I'm making $40 million in 03, and then you looking and you going, they got what? They doing what? Okay, keep that shit far away from me.
Did they ever reach out to you back then? Because at that time, Meech was pretty much around everybody. So
you could. They would reach out and stuff like that, and I would avoid it.
Yeah,
because it just wasn't good for where I was at. I was like, nah. Because everything else that was going on says I would do it. And then I don't have to. If they wanted to make it, if they wanted to make that what it was, then it would have just been that.
What's interesting enough too is part of BMF's movement with Jeezy and how Jeezy came out and his album and everything. I always related it to it was the Southern Get Rich or Die Trying and how the movement.
Look, I look at Jeezy. The support that they offered him in those early stages, I don't think there's Jeezy without BMF.
Right.
So it's important. It's an important component, but I hadn't had a whole bunch of communication with Jeezy about it until we reached those stages in the storytelling.
Is Jeezy gonna be? Is he in?
Of course, I want him to be a part of it. And 2 Chainz reached out like Lil Baby. You know, and
are we gonna see Wolf in the?
Of course, we get this pivotal stuff. Like we
see a Puff.
You know, it's interesting in the Wolf case because your friends will push you further than your enemies. at points because they won't see how far they're going with things. You know what I'm saying? But they have relationships. They traveled went to Africa and hung out on boats and stuff like that together. Like, but prior to this,
that's a crazy story. I heard that story.
Yeah.
Do you know who's gonna be casted as Meech yet?
No, because what we're doing is because it's happening in stages. There may be multiple characters.
Okay.
Because the timelines.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Are you going to have the series broken up? Or are you going to do flashbacks?
There'll be flashbacks in it, but it will jump timelines.
Okay.
So it will. I want you to feel like when you watched it, that you have an understanding of what their journey was like. Look, when we make a feature film, if we did your life story, we're doing 30-something years in 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We're leaving out a lot of things that were really influential to you or help shape how your viewpoint on things are or what experiences that hurt you that make you not want to do that again. Pain is monumental, so I say hurt you. You know, like, because if you ask a person the last time they cried, they emotionally become sad. When you say the last time you laughed, it doesn't change your mood. You know what I mean? So I think when we go through things that are like rough things or hard things for us, that they really stand out. It's like when in Get Rich or Die Trying, it was difficult for me at points performing because it was me. Mm-hmm. Like we went through a moment, like I just got shot out in front of the crib the way I got shot. Mm-hmm. And then the next line was like it was comedy set up on the schedule for me to shoot next. Was like and I was like, it's hard to be funny right now, like, because I just dealt with redoing that. Right. You know, like, that's cool. I mean, sometimes, like, if you play characters, like, that you can, I think you have to find a way to really relate to the character and develop them and know the actual person. Like, the Kanan character for me in Stars, I was playing Kanan for 5 years. Mm-hmm. I watch when the talent in the table reads, when we read the script so we can hear it in each character's voice. And when they read that their character dies, they get emotional.
And it's the first time hearing about it.
Yeah.
Right there.
Right there. When they get emotional, and it's like, I'm like, yo, like, it was like, every time it was happening, somebody was like, oh, shit. All right.
Were you aware, or you?
Yeah, I read it prior to that, you know, but when I saw their response to it, it would make me almost like watch to see how he responds when he reads his part. It's like that. And it's interesting because they get put back in a pool of talented people, and they're uncertain if the next thing that they actually commit to will be as fulfilling. Mm-hmm. You know, so.
Did you regret when you were killed off?
No. I had other stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, this is the thing. Like, I didn't quit my day job to see if I like working on the night shift. Like, that's just not my character. So I kept, everything else running at the same time. So look, this is the thing. Like, at one point I had to tell Courtney, like, we worked on Power for 2 years. Mm-hmm. Pitched it, went around, and then it didn't get picked up. And then I was like, yo, no, I'm telling you, it's because I went and made music that represented each one of the characters, and we had a different presentation. I wanted to pitch it a different way. But Courtney was like, look, you 50 Cent, you can do this forever. I have to go to work. Like, go do this. And I'm like, okay, I'll play Ghost. I had to tell her that because she knew in the room, when they didn't know exactly who was going to be the lead, they was going, it's a great story, but who's
going to watch it?
Yeah, who's going to play Ghost? And then I'm like, Omari. He's a trained actor. Right. He just had, look, Hollywood is hurry up and wait. In a nutshell, hurry up. And now that you're good enough, wait for an opportunity or someone to provide you the ability to showcase how talented you are, and then wait for it to happen again. And I'm coming from music, we don't wait for nothing. We go make it. We go make it happen. So even the stories I would say to people, I'm like, why are you not making the character you want to play? Or at least your dream sequence, what character would you want to play? Why are you not developing that character at the same time while adapting and doing the other work that's there?
Mm-hmm.
You should still make your pet project, the one that would be the most exciting thing for you to perform.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that and it locks in and it creates the kind of energy that we did with Power, it just opens the floodgates. Like,
Where does Power go from here?
Power right now, I'm gonna do 12 million. This next season, I feel like I'm gonna do 12 million multi-platform viewers, and we already plans for spinoffs.
Are we? And that's the backstory, right?
Right.
Okay.
So-
That's already in the works.
TGE, yeah.
Got you.
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn's gonna be in there.
Yeah.
Fire.
So I got that going, and then
Has Sean Penn ever done television before?
No. look, Sasha Penn. So what I did was, you ever see TGE, the golden era? It's the things that influenced
Were you
Kanan.
trying to be funny when you did that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know, TDE. The best ever. TV Floyd with all that shit. TGE, the golden era. You know, that point where the hustling
Right.
and everything.
Paid in full.
Was, that's right.
Yeah, the paid in full.
And it's those guys influenced and developed who Kanan was in his behaviors. He was a little guy around them. So think Goodfellas.
Mm-hmm.
How they tell a story from Ray Liotta's character.
Mm-hmm.
And so
That's gonna be fire.
Yeah, that'll build. Got some real good projects on deck. And I got a Isaac Wright project. It's picked up on ABC. So we're going to pilot with that now. They straight.
Okay.
That one. And then in February, it's the second season of The Oath. It's the #1, the highest rated show on Sony Crackle. You know, so I'm batting 100. Right?
What are your thoughts on 6ix9ine right now in his situation?
I feel. I don't think how. Like 6ix9ine is not from the street.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I liked him because, like I liked Soulja Boy. Like when he came, I looked and I was like, he's 16 years old. He produced the record, made the dance, got his homeboy, and then shot it. I want to see him have a hit. That guy that does it. Like, 'cause I couldn't do that at 16.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I thought he had something in, like, I was like, yo, he's special.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They do all that. And then with 6ix9ine, his imaging was stronger than the music.
Mm-hmm.
Because middle America, the people that actually purchasing hip hop music, they can dye their hair blonde and then dye their hair those colors.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And then they seen him in the element that they've been. Hip hop allows you to be on a safari and get close enough to the animals without being in danger. And they seen him in the safari, in the middle of the whole pack, and you cooking, and the little homies he had around him. And I say it because when I use little, only because they, like my crew's baby brothers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Little, they're younger.
Mm-hmm.
The next litter
Gotcha.
of it was around.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go. So while he was talking, that's why he would say, suck 'em up.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody say
He had
something, suck 'em
them
up.
around him.
Because you know for sure they're going to do it. They'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was giving him the confidence to do that. But, you know, I look and going, I don't know. Look, the guys that actually chose that lifestyle, they're conscious of it.
I mean, when
They turn.
did you ever have a convo with
That
him,
point.
like, you know, because I mean, I'm sure it was interesting to you because I think about what it would have been like if social media was around in 2003. So I'm sure you saw him like, yo, this is really my son. Like,
I'm looking
he
like
got
you-
my whole blueprint. So, but you knew what came with that. Like you know what I'm saying? And
what he saw from me was over time. He was doing it in such a short window
yeah,
that it was commanding a different level of attention. And then culturally, they going gang, gang, gang. When I get on the record with them, I go, I am not gang, gang. I do not gang bang. Immediately. Because I don't like Rico. I don't like conspiracy.
Right.
You know, give me a homicide right now. I'll take a homicide right now before you give me that. Because, look, John Gotti will walk out the courtroom successful 3 times until they start calling him Teflon Don homicides. And then they come
With that
Rico
yeah,
and then
it's
you
different.
23-1 Marion.
Yeah, it's done.
You know, it get crazy. So like that those laws were designed for you not to escape them. You know, so it'd be a tough. That term, when I saw what I saw in the paper, I feel like he gonna tell on everything. That was a part that wasn't even in the indictment. The stuff that they're saying that he's talking about is not in the indictment, so he's offering that along with everything else, and then they added those new people to the indictment. You know.
So in 2019 and 2020, can this whole situation happen with 6ix9ine, and then him come home and still have a successful music career? Because we're in a different day and age. So I'm just curious.
It is different.
What do you
Like,
think?
look, I think he can make music and people can hear it, but the original core and bass that he tapped into won't rock.
Even though that original core bass, the fans, they didn't really care if he really came from that.
Right.
But everybody,
It was entertaining. Look, they didn't look at it and say
he wasn't built for that.
He would say, "Did you let the little rainbow kid say that to you?
Right.
And you're not gonna do nothing?" Like he's saying that to you. Like that's what the humor. Like he had a personality and character that you like. It's interesting to watch, right? And then we're in a different space. It's so confused. I don't know what happens because look, Richard Simmons, a publication promoted that he was transitioning. He's gonna be a transgender.
Okay.
A court in L.A. ruled that there's no defamation in them reporting that he was transitioning because it's nothing negative about transitioning. But that's like me saying that you're a man, and then people believing that you're a man, or that you cut it off. You cut it off. Like this is like for me. It's like I'm like, the court said what? We somewhere new, somewhere different.
Soulja Boy, for an example, does he need music to turn this into something, or can someone exist within hip hop now just by organically creating a moment?
Nah, he needs a song.
Okay.
The moment will give him the attention that allow the song to cut through. But if he didn't say anything, who was talking about him? And the last we was talking about was him fighting Chris Brown.
Yep. What about the Don Q, Tory Lanez beef? Have you been?
Yeah, I saw that.
That
That was like Tory be starting. Like, Tory Lanez be starting. I don't know why he added the girl,
Yeah.
but her response was
She got the biggest
super.
moment. Yeah.
Super.
Shout out
like
Dream
this,
Doll.
She put that together good. Like she said, Beijing between my legs. You asked for a threesome with another guy. I was like, what kind of shit you doing, boy? You asked for what? Okay. Let me cross me out in the freaky list. I'm not ever asking for that kind of shit.
888 Shade 45. 50 Cent is here. Let me see if I can pronounce this right. Le Chemin Droit.
Wow, yeah. King Fab.
It's fire. The bottle's crazy. It's a definite chess move. This is another $500 million company.
We're gonna do it. You know how we do. Shake them up. Even the exit from the effing thing was pretty good.
It was amazing.
Like,
Thank you for that.
We did, and they didn't realize they don't realize who the true influencers are.
Right.
They think it's the corporation because they're corporate, and not the actual person. You see how I go? I know who's influencing me, and the things that I'm watching. So those people, I get to be involved. They look and they just go to the system,
Right.
and it goes over. Look, professional pitchers, they don't get likes. your candid picture.
Right,
Thing.
that's real.
You know what I'm saying? And then they look, and then everybody gets something from someone else. Like their style, we're not saying, yo, I want that shirt, but we take note and say that shirt was cool. Then we see something that's similar. Why not? You know?
You want to play this game?
You want to?
Yeah.
We can play a game.
Let's do it. So get the strap is your phrase that you have coined for all the craziness that goes down. So we have a couple lines and we want to know, do they deserve the strap or are they safe in these scenarios? So
Young Maya used it different though.
You said what?
Young May, she used it different.
She does.
She does. Yes, she does. All right, 6ix9ine cooperating with the feds.
Uh-huh.
Was that a get the strap situation?
Oh yeah, get the strap. Get the strap, definitely.
Tory Lanez shooting his shot at Taraji P. Henson.
Tory, that's interesting. Who did he's like what? Right after he finished with Don Q. That little beef with Don Q and Dream Dog. He gonna go on with Taraji. You know? How did you shoot a shot though? What did you just say?
I think he just put out on Instagram.
On the gram?
On his story on the gram and was just like,
that was a shot.
Yeah, Taraji, get at me.
Oh, that he didn't mean that. Ain't nobody responding to no shit like that.
Yeah, because he would have really went at it if he wanted.
You got to come say something.
Yeah.
So he's safe.
Yeah, he's safe.
Okay.
That's a get the strap moment though for Tory if he thought that was gonna work. She gonna hear that and not even hear that.
Right.
Across over there, you know.
Shouts out to her. She just got a star.
Yeah.
Y'all seen that?
Congratulations to her.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Lil Wayne's lawyer overcharging him $20 million.
Yeah, get the strap. And if they don't understand it, then we get the strap. Because you know what happens is lawyers, they live in a gray area, right? So you can't really trust them. You gotta learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'll call in 2005, right?
Okay.
I started feeling like I was like hot, like I was hot. So I was like, I had like this thing like where I would look at women and I'd be like, if she looked at me, I felt like, oh, she thinks she's gonna get me.
I feel like
a role reversal.
Like role reversal. And I was like making it back to the room, and when I made it back to the room, like because they had after parties and stuff all the time, I would lock the door and I would call attorneys and go through portions of the contracts and have them explain it. Because in layman's terms, what does this mean? So I can use my own gut instincts on my decisions and ask why are we not asking for this in the contractual agreements and stuff like that. And that was the thing that none of the other artists were participating in that part of, what was going on. And then when you say, look, I think when men are not prepared to be as attractive women. So the only time a man is as attractive woman is when he's successful and is publicly noted.
Mm-hmm.
Because this means he's the package. And then she sees her life the way it would be. If she knows herself enough, she would know what's sufficient and what's not, right? So then now you become that attractive. Because like if we made a man, right, if we picked him out in body parts, like you picked his face, we picked his arms, his shoulders, his torso, we built the perfect man, right? We look at him, if he don't have the other qualities of being a man, you would look at that pretty dude on the couch and say, if you don't get your ugly ass off of my couch, I want to kill you. It's so ugly. Even after he's what you picked is the most beautiful thing in the world. It's just like, even we got character flaws, all of us, but when the qualities, if we do have those qualities, they work out, then you have something special in there. But I don't think, for me, at that point, it was such a powerful shift.
Right.
That I was like thinking things out. Like I was intentionally putting myself with Tyson Beckford because he was 202 pounds.
Right.
And 6 foot, he was 6'1", and I'm 6'1", and I'm like, look at me. Am I like Tyson Beckford? We got the same skin complexion. He has tattoos. I have tattoos. Is this like? Because Tyson Beckford was like the supermodel at that point, and then it's like it gave them. Oh, he was in jail, so I fit more being in jail. He was there like the guy, the fish out of water, doing that, but. It made sense to me to do those things.
So that was your decision. You said put him in this video.
Put him in there. Hell yeah. Yeah, don't put no other guy look like he just killed somebody in here with me. Let them look at me and say, oh, yeah, like him. Yeah.
That's the real thing. You've been going crazy on the gram recently. Like, you made a song called Stunt 101 a long time ago, and everybody knows you got a lot of money. But what inspired the... But I think Lil Uzi coming for you though. He just posted like 8 cars last night.
He did 8 cars. I gotta see what Lil Uzi doing.
Yeah, see what he's
because these they're young and rich. They're young and rich. They work hard for it, and they're gonna enjoy it. And the difference in transition, like lifestyle changes, right? You mean say because I was under circumstances where the basement wasn't done in my grandmother's house when I got down into the basement. It was the coolest spot to be because it was privacy there. But there wasn't enough space for you to stand up all the way. So it was lower, so you'd bend down when you're in the actual basement. I had an interest in Tyson's crib. It's 55,000 square feet. It's like a small hotel. All right, 18 bedrooms, 37 bathrooms, got everything you can think of, and shit break because you didn't use it on the other side of the house and shit. So I'm going, after you have it for a little while, you look and you say, you got 18 bedrooms, but you only gonna sleep on one bed.
Right.
So you don't need those things because you had it. You may need to feel that.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. You might need a little S in front of the driveway. You're driving up and feeling like I'm home now. You know what I'm saying? But there's points that you'll look at it and say, I just need quality living space. And I'll just won't be on a commercial plane ever again. And spending money in different portions of your lifestyle, because if you don't spend it, they're gonna take it come tax time. So it is really like lifestyle choices with that. Like when they do that though, he just put 8 cars up.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, Uzi bite my style.
Hold on,
my drip's so heavy. I did
They're
it
all
in
Army
December.
Matt
Let me show
Green.
it to you.
Army Matt
They're
Green.
all the trucks.
You was
Bentley
was
truck,
crazy.
Lamborghini truck, Rolls Royce truck. What else?
Yeah,
all of
here
them.
you go. Had a bunch of shit.
Oh, these niggas flying. Yeah, I like this. Okay, let's see if they can keep up with me.
Fifth, when can we expect to see BMF on TV?
Oh man,
2019, 2020.
Yeah, when Power comes off.
All right.
BMF will come on. We ready. We rolling.
Predictions for the Super Bowl?
Oh man, I'm gonna know after the first few minutes of the game. I got to feel the momentum of happening. But the experience when I see Brady and them, like he had the clip. He had the Mini-Men playing in the background. I was like, oh shoot, he's trying to get his mind right for real now. He get ready to do it again. Like he ready to go. But it does. The experience of playing in games with that type of intensity does. It shows out when you've been there before. It's the same thing like Floyd. When you got fighters that are killers in the gym. And then they're just not the same guy under the lights. Like when they get in the lights, they're just not the same fighter. They'll beat you half to death in there practicing. And then you go, it's a big fight tonight, and they go like, this guy just get knocked. You're like, what the fuck's wrong with this thing? Like, goddamn, blood.
He beat that boy.
Yeah. AB. Listen. AB owe me money. AB owe me money. He owed the whole hood. Whole hood, we took an L with you, AB. I'm like, man. Nah, but he put on a good show, though. The fight was good.
The Kid 50 Cent, 88 Shade 45, Fifth. Continued success. Appreciate you, my brother.
That's all we're going to do.
What you mean? We can keep going. We got more work to do. We go to the studio now. Y'all know what the fuck it is. Super Bowl weekend. Let's get to it.
45.
Hey, check it out. This is Eminem and the Streetz Is Watchin.
We know drama in the homie.
The wait is finally over. The affiliates have taken over the wheel. Right here on the Streetz Is Watchin on Shade 45.